Coming up right now, the Ivy League is taking a major step back when it comes to teaching math.
Also coming up, the daughter of a famed rock star shares some heartbreaking news about her latest cancer diagnosis.
A little bit later on, why a big-name TV personality has decided to call it quits and step away from her daily news show. You'll have no idea who we're talking about, do you?
No, none whatsoever. Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, and this is Daily Flash. Thank you so much for joining us here. We got a whole hour packed with today's trends, tomorrow's talk. We also have this guy, Matt Doolittle. What's up, Matt? Hey!
You know what the best place, you know what you can do for us? Go to our website, dailyflashshow.com. There you can see all our social channels. I have my own little show in there called Preview Review, so you can see some stuff coming up with the theme parks, all of the movie trends, all that stuff out there. And our sweet baby James, who's in the control room today, he posts all of our social media stuff.
Absolutely. Very good stuff there, Matty. Great job. And we want you to be basically on our show. All you have to do is go there. Like Matt said, you can sound off. We love hearing from you.
You want to be on TV?
Yeah.
This is
the place to do it. Hell, they got me on here, so you can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Right.
Come on now.
Anybody can do it. Is true.
The New York Times came out with an interesting article, and I have a question for all of you guys in here, not just in here, but also in the control room. Should men wear white jeans? Mitch, I'll go to you first.
I had to buy, we went to a white party one time, and I had to buy.
How was Diddy?
What's that?
How was Diddy?
It was great. It wasn't a Diddy party. I had to buy special underwear, flesh tone underwear, because otherwise you see my underwear.
So are white jeans for men? Is it a?
I don't think so.
No, it's a thumbs down.
Take down. Yeah.
That's a hard no. No.
Very popular
I
in
sit
Europe.
in some weird stuff.
Okay, you sit in some weird stuff. Gentlemen behind the camera,
white shoes,
white jeans.
Jeans. No.
Thumbs
All
down.
three of them wear nothing but black all the time anyway.
I make them do that. That's why.
There's a thumbs down. We got a no,
No.
and Will is like he doesn't care.
Okay.
All right, control room. Hello.
A lot of guys in
A
there.
lot of guys in the control room.
No. A lot of them say no.
All
Okay.
thumbs down.
Wait, no, James.
Oh, James is
yes.
thumbs up.
James up.
James up. James up. Okay.
I'd like to see James in white.
They're extremely popular, like I said, in Europe, and the French men are famous for wearing white denim jeans. But a lot of people say, there's that rule: white, never wear white before a Memorial or before Labor Day, and never after Memorial Day. But some people say you can wear white year-round, doesn't matter. However, a lot of people say whenever I wear white, I always end up getting something on me.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, every time, and maybe it happens with my other clothes, it's just they're darker and I never see it, but guaranteed. And then you're also, I think subconsciously, don't do it, and you wind up doing it. So.
I love white jeans. I think
they look
great.
all right?
Yeah, I think they look great.
I had one pair and I wore them maybe once a year and I always felt awkward because.
You felt uncomfortable?
Yeah, just because I never wore white, and I have this all white suit that I had for that party I was talking about. But I got to wear the special underwear for. Right?
I feel like if I was wearing like white pants, I would feel like a doctor. And
like or a sailor, one of those.
Yeah, sailor.
Doctor or a sailor. Okay.
And depending on what kind of party you're going to.
Yeah.
It could be a Dr. Sailor party.
Dr.
Dr. Sailor party.
You been one of those?
Only with you.
You forget that night, that's for sure.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Should men wear white jeans?
Okay.
Is it okay to wear white year-round?
If they say yes, I'll wear white jeans one day here on the show.
Okay,
How about
I like
that?
it.
And
We got one vote for white jeans from the control room and one like meh from Will. our
I'm not
camera guy.
against it. I just wouldn't wear it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm all for that kind of fashion.
Okay.
Would you wear one to Harvard? Well, guess what? There's some changes there at Harvard University. They might be one of the most elite universities in the world, but they're actually going back to the basics when it comes to teaching math.
Crazy.
I'm wondering. The Ivy League school now teaching, ready, remedial math to incoming freshmen who say they lack the basic foundation skills when it comes to adding and subtracting. Not joking. Harvard points to a number of factors: the pandemic, lackluster teaching, and making DEI a priority over basic principles. Their words. The new course is called Math MA. It meets 5 days a week, and you go there for 1 year. We had a story, I believe, last week where a girl sued her school because she graduated valedictorian and did not know.
Couldn't read.
Couldn't read. And you kind of wonder about that. And schools advance on based on test skills a lot of times, and,
Yes.
and the salaries are kind of determined, and how much money goes to that school.
Yeah.
So you could see why they're pushing it along, and our kids are getting left behind. Second thing is, why do you need to know math when you can just do it right here?
Yeah.
Right.
When you
That's
can
what they're
ask-
thinking. I'm not saying that's right.
When you can ask AI, tell me what the X, Y, and Z is of A, B, and C,
And,
right?
and you can do
then-
everything right there.
Yeah,
Where you can
but
do that.
but it defeats the purpose of learning, because you're going to those classes to learn the fundamentals, the basics, which allows you to depend on AI
Yeah.
for the extras.
And now I had a little gap. I had a long gap in my after I graduated high school and then going back to college. And I forgot all the math that I had
Yeah.
learned, and I took, I guess you call it, it wasn't Harvard, it was at a community college, but I had to take all the basic class. But I'm kind of glad I did, because because now that if you have kids and you got to teach them the math,
You got to know something.
something.
I do think, though, when it comes to teaching, we've sort of veered off course in such a dramatic way that I'm hoping we can kind of get back on course with the fundamentals of learning and the basics, going back to reading, writing, and arithmetic, and real science, as opposed to a lot of this identity politics being infiltrated in our schoolwork and our classrooms.
That's why we need to just praise our teachers. If you're
Yes.
a teacher, thank you. If you know a teacher, just stop and say thanks for what you do.
100%. The daughter of John Cougar, Teddy Mellencamp, has confirmed she has stage 4 cancer. The former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star posted a video after doctors found more tumors in her brain.
man.
The 43-year-old detailed how the disease has progressed after having several tumors removed. Now, Teddy thought she had beaten the cancer, only to find out that she had 4 new tumors develop. Despite the news, Mellencamp says she remains hopeful, and she is, of course, documenting all of this on social media.
If it helps other people,
Yeah.
I'm for that. I hope I'm never in this situation, and God bless her for her coming out.
Yeah.
Really, just see other people that are going through this and say, here's somebody that is just like you and can identify to. And it's sad to see that. Look, side note, can I do a sidebar?
Yeah, sidebar.
So John Mellencamp never wanted to be called John Cougar. He was John Cougar. And he found out when the record company gave him that name. They said, you're going to be John Cougar. No one's going to get Mellencamp. So he was John Cougar for a while.
Yeah.
Then he goes, well, I want to be Mellencamp, John Cougar Mellencamp.
Okay.
He said, Cougar's not even my name.
Yes.
And so if you call him now, it's John Mellencamp.
And if you call him that, he will slap your cheeks.
And he does not like being called John
Really?
Cougar.
He will slap your
Yes,
cheeks.
it's a thing. So when we said that reminded me of that. No, you're fine.
Okay.
But you know him as John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be
Right.
Cougar. It's kind of a cool name, though, I think.
And then I'm thinking, well, his daughter's Teddy Mellencamp, so well, that'll be easy to bridge the two together, so it doesn't
Indeed.
sound like John Mellencamp, Teddy Mellencamp.
Speaking of Cougars, that Deborah Norville.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
don't know if
she
she
is.
is or not, but
She could be.
She could be. Who knows?
Yeah.
She actually is now going to have a lot more time to maybe do some dating. She announced recently she's stepping away from her show
Say it
Inside
isn't
Edition.
so.
She's going to start a new one called Outside Edition.
Outside edition.
No, it's going to actually run her 30-year run on that daily program. Wow. Norville says that she has decided right now is the right time to move on. She started her career at Inside Edition back in 1995.
Wow.
Host revealed she was actually offered a new contract to stay. She turned it down. Before she got her big break in 1989, she was hired as a reader for NBC's The Today Show. I remember on that. Then she found herself at the center of controversy when she was crowned the new host of The Today Show following the departure of anchor Jane Pauley in 1990.
That
Norville
was
left.
scandalous.
Yes, it was. She left that show in 1991. Guess who took her place? Katie Couric.
Aha.
30 years, good for her.
She's had a great career.
And Deborah Norville, you just know her. I mean, you always expect her. It's like it's appointment television.
Yeah.
Inside Edition, Deborah Norville. You always think of.
I thought she was terrific on the Today Show. You could see where her career was headed. I think the timing on her part was really rotten, and I think she took a lot of hits for that. Maybe not to her fault. I think
Agreed.
executives saw she had great potential, but Jane Pauley was so popular at that point that it was messy for everybody involved.
Generally that happens.
Yeah.
When you take over from a high profile, it's big shoes to fill.
But 30 years in one
Good for her.
job
That's
in
incredible.
broadcasting,
That's really hard.
that is hard.
We were kind of talking about this. You have to fail to succeed. We were
Yes.
just talking about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And that's a great example of that. And she might not fail, just timing. It's like what
Yes.
you said. But in her mind, she's like, well, I failed as this, maybe even though I didn't have anything to do with it. But she turned this around 30 years, and God bless her.
Because do you think she would have lasted 30 years
I
on
don't
the
think
Today
so.
Show?
I don't think so.
either.
Plus,
Think she would put up with Matt's crap?
No.
Not your Matt, but Matt.
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer.
Plus, she didn't have to get up at 3 a.m. She can go
That
record
is
that at like
true.
2 o'clock in the afternoon,
yeah.
get in,
Yeah.
do the half-hour show and go home.
Is it like Wheel of Fortune where she tapes all her shows and like?
I bet you she probably only works like 4 days a week, and
Yeah.
like on a they tape one day
Yeah.
a show, because it's generally like, I think on a Friday it's like almost like a recap of the entire week. So I can see
Right.
that.
Yeah.
We will want you to stick around with us because we have today's trends and tomorrow's talk.
We do. Stay with us. Don't you move a muscle. The Daily Flash will be right back right after this.
You were very particular about your cut of fish, and you always ask to smell it. Why?
Well, you never know how old the fish is. First of all, form a relationship. So at your supermarket or at your local fish shop, get a good relationship and ask them what the freshest fish is. That's the most important. You may be planning on salmon, but it might not be the freshest fish. Today, it was salmon. But when we look at salmon and we're purchasing salmon, what I would always say is buy the center cut. If you look at this now, it's going to cook evenly. If you purchased it towards its tail, that part is going to cook quicker. This part's going to cook quicker than this. So always purchase the center cut. And I like to buy salmon with the skin on. I always start it in a pan with the skin side down, in a cold pan with no oil. The oils will come out of the skin. 6 minutes on the first side, 3 minutes on the other side. 125 is the perfect temperature for farm-raised salmon. If it's wild salmon, about 120, and that's how you cook.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Here we go. What do they truly mean, especially when it comes to stay-at-home moms? Here with more insight is Amanda Webster. She's the Chief Revenue Officer of Accruity. Hi, Amanda. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So how could an increase in tariffs on everyday goods affect a stay-at-home mom's ability to manage the family budget?
Hey, listen, I'm not going to lie. Things are a little tough. They've been tough. I feel like it's just like a never-ending cycle right now. But I do feel there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But for right now, we really have to kind of budget as lean as possible in our households and make sure that we're prioritizing needs over any wants, over anything fun, just to make sure. Of course, if you can build the fun in there, that's always a positive for a stay-at-home mom.
I think we're all getting a serious lesson in economics when it comes to tariffs. So in what ways could tariff-related price changes influence a family's long-term savings goals, especially for single-income households?
So I wouldn't change your goals, but what I would do is make sure you have a savings vehicle that you can access quickly. So keep your goals in place, keep doing your savings plan as little or as much as you can, no matter what's going on, but just make sure you can access it quickly in case there's an issue, right? In case you need to pull it quickly, don't have it in some long-term CD or something that you can't pull out without penalty. So I might want to diversify my savings plan versus changing my actual goals.
Let's talk about the purchase of everyday items. Let's say you might depend on Amazon. Could tariffs limit access to certain imported goods like formula, diapers, or household items? And of course, that begs the question, why are we importing baby formula from, let's say, China?
Well, the good news is 90% of our formula is actually made here in the US. The only formula that typically comes outside is very specific specialty formulas. So that should be limited. Same thing with diapers. Your big three diaper companies are made here in the US. So those types of goods should be okay. We've been through a formula crisis before. I personally had a baby during that crisis, so I know what that's like. But we made it through. So the government will put things in place if we need to get it. But that's 100% it, is you do need to look at finding out who's making their goods in the US to limit that fluctuation as much as possible.
Yeah, if you've ever tried to shop on Amazon and look for something made in America, it becomes a scavenger hunt. It's much more difficult than I think most people realize, and maybe a question that most people really never asked until now. So the conversation is good for everyone to have. Many stay-at-home moms supplement income through side hustles like Etsy and eBay. How could tariffs on supplies or shipping impact these smaller scale businesses?
There's definitely going to be an increase and you're going to have to pass that along. So you might have to look at pricing earlier, right? So if you can make a little bit of an increase in pricing earlier to offset, because you have a little bit of time and runway with the supply chain. Also, I would start researching again where you're getting your supplies from and are there other sources that don't have as high a tariffs. You may still have to look outside the US, but you may find other countries that aren't having as high of a tariff that you can get these goods to meet those needs of the consumers. So again, don't change your goals, don't shut your shop down, just find some ulterior things that can make it affordable.
If tariffs lead to price increases, what lifestyle adjustments should families think about, especially when it comes to meal planning, and also maybe about DIY solutions or delaying big purchases? What's your advice?
I think get ahead of the curve, right? If you know you're going to need a big purchase, try to give yourself some time to not have to pull money out of your savings. Try to add a little extra into your plan for those types of purchases. I always think meal prepping, DIY, going back to the old school of actually cooking all of your meals from scratch might become a better alternative, even if like you're putting a garden in the backyard. So you might want to look at other alternatives for that, especially if you're a stay-at-home parent where you have a little bit more time to be able to research those things, but you definitely want to have a plan in place to be able to have a long-term sustainability during this time. It's going to end. There's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like we're in a correction mode after many years of different fiscal policies. And I do think there's other things at play that we as the consumer can't see yet. And we will see some offsetting things internally, like taxes or the costs and expenses that these people are paying from the time it enters the port till it actually enters the manufacturing plant. I think you're going to see some of that stuff. So I do think there will be relief coming. We just have to ride it through. Unfortunately, it's just been one thing after another between the last 5 years. But I think we're going to get to a really good fiscal place as an economy at the end of all this.
Yeah, I think so too. A bit of a bumpy road, as the president had mentioned, but it will be worth it toward the end. So just to kind of ride it out and know that more manufacturing jobs within our country means more money in all of our pocketbooks. Amanda, great to see you. Thank you so much. For more information on how tariffs will affect families, you can head over to our website, dailyflashshow.com. We're back right after this. In this week's Boss Lady, we meet Leah Lizarondo. She's a former tech whiz who turned her attention toward food insecurity. She helped build Food Rescue Hero after hearing about how much food goes to waste every day. She now helps to mobilize volunteers in more than 25 cities to pick up food from restaurants and grocery stores and deliver it to those who are in need of it most.
Oh, got it. Yeah. And we're still, so we're gonna go. The first time that I, saw this statistic that we waste 40% of our food. I started talking to my friends who are in the food business. My friends would say, oh, yes, I hate being the last shift because then I have to put all of this bread in a bag and throw it away. Some of them would say, oh, yeah, but what I do is I take all of the food and then on my way home, there is a church, and I would just drop it off. We work with food retailers, with workplaces, grocery stores, any place where there could be surplus food. We tell drivers where there's food that's available and where it's going. And just like an Uber driver or a DoorDash driver, they see it and they click on it and they'll say they'll take it.
Everything that we pick up today gets delivered today and then gets in the hands of the people in the community. Couple more bags of bread. 631 pounds.
Bravo. Yay. Thank you.
Yesterday we had, I think 73 families that came in and shopped and were able to get food with the help of 412 Food Rescue. So everything's free. We want it to be as close to a grocery store experience as possible. We want people to be able to come in and have the freedom to get what they want and what they need and have us not choose that for them. We find that there's less waste that way.
In the beginning, we would receive large quantities of a single thing. You know, whether it's cabbage, whether it's pineapple, whether it's bananas. And there was so much of it. All of it needs to be used right away. Our nonprofit distribution partners, and they would say no to it because there's so much. And I remember one point we were, fairly shocked that people were saying no. That's when we thought, well, what if we had a kitchen whose only job is to process these things, to use up food? Greg is really the driver in this kitchen. He is the one that, we saw the inventory downstairs. He looks at it, plans it out.
See if there's anything else we can use.
Or is this the fridge?
Is the cooler.
Yeah, that's the cooler. The fridge is, yeah.
We're running out of room there.
Okay, you wanna?
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Oh, it's not so bad.
The fresh goods come in every week from the truck, and I that's what I have to cook with, and so then I cook with that. This is a recipe from a barbecue place I worked at 10 years ago. It was the most popular side that they had there. They just called it cheesy potatoes. We tend to even out around 8 partners, about 800 meals a week we put out.
Everything was shutting down. The nonprofits were also closing down, so they couldn't really receive this food. Our nonprofit partners were telling us, there's so many people in need, they're stuck at home. They have no other way to get food. But one of the most inspiring things to us, we experienced ensuing month so many volunteers suddenly wanting to do something or just wanting to know how they could help.
Which station are we going to be on? 412 Rescue. It says 4, but there's always different ones. You can volunteer as little or as much as you want. I got to volunteer like 3 times in the last week. Hi, Brian. This is Jenna from 412 Rescue. I hit a red light, so I'm pulling up soon, okay? Hi, Brian.
Hi, Jen.
How are you?
Good. It brought
your
back
food?
memories.
Okay.
You take care.
You too.
You're just more aware of it when you see the amount that, we rescue every day, that it's got to change your behavior over time a little bit.
If there's more of us, maybe we can, do something about climate change collectively. One of the things about climate change that is very difficult is that a lot of us can't imagine it. But if you talk about it in terms of my carload of food, and that was headed to the garbage and landfill, and it was only saved because of you, then you can have an idea that maybe this small thing that I can do can actually make a difference.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk.
So happy to have you along here. And maybe this week or this weekend when you order your Uber Eats or your Postmates or whatever and they deliver to your house, just keep in mind a girl named Selena Allsworth. She's 27 years old. Okay. They recently did an article on her because she lives in a little town called Port Allsworth, Alaska, where she has to have her groceries, her basically living supplies, delivered once every 2 months. Can you imagine that?
Once every 2 months?
And she said she doesn't mind it. She says she's always grown up this way. Back, her great-grandparents, which you'll love the names, Babe and Mary Allsworth.
Oh, I love it.
They said, you know what, honey, we're going to Alaska. Now, this is back in 1940s. They go, we're going to go into Alaska and we're going to live here. And now the great-granddaughter of this couple still lives there and relies on air deliveries to bring her those convenience that we take advantage of so often. The good news is nowadays you have a cell phone and you can get internet with the satellite, Starlink, and that sort of thing. Those things are nice, but you think about the real essentials. You can't really grow too much as far as produce goes, so you are really dependent on getting those sort of things. So when I was reading the story, I just realized how fortunate we have it. And then also, there are people that are just happy living in the middle of nowhere, which boggles my mind, but it works for them.
So she survives off of airdrops of like...
Basically so. You have all food. You can put, it's like a grocery delivery, like an Uber Eats, if you will, but for 2 months supply of it.
Got ya.
I'm sure a lot of canned goods.
Yeah.
Did she get like a pallet of toilet paper?
And she would have to, yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
You would have to.
Can't really
Does she
get
ever go to
Chipotle out there.
Costco? Like drives into town for a Costco run?
Probably no. She's 2 hours away from anybody.
Anybody.
So she really doesn't make that much. In the winter months, there's no way she really could.
drive.
She is locked there where you're at. And I would imagine, fuel is also something that would come to keep her going.
It's hard to imagine someone in the 1940s being able to survive out there.
Right?
During that time.
It shows us that anybody can survive anywhere, wherever you're at.
I'm telling you, if you watch 1923, which I've told you to watch, you understand, like, it's crazy to think about the luxuries that we take for granted. I mean, there's a scene of them driving in the snow with no GPS, driving from Chicago to Montana. You're like, how is this happening? Or Wyoming.
And you think the roads.
Yeah, and they have no, they're basically working off of a drawn map. They have no heat in the car, and of course it's winter and it's snow. It's like, holy cow, like we just take that for granted. We can hop in the car and go anywhere we want, regardless of the weather, and we'll get there pretty much.
There's a YouTube hole you can go down and see everything that will be fixed by a cell phone in 2 minutes. Like Home Alone, fixed in a second. Like there's stuff like that. Every like there's a bunch of movies from like pre-1995 that you're like, that could have been fixed in 5 seconds with a cell phone.
Yes.
No, I said that about Seinfeld. Seinfeld, if they at the end of the run, they had a few episodes where they had a cell phone, but everything could have been fixed on a cell phone. All it is just communication, which tells us what communication is as well. There are certain things I could not live without. I'd probably get away from the internet, but I would have to have my pizza delivered to me. But if it's frozen pizza, hopefully it would last 2 months, because that would be all I would be eating on. If I had 2 months supply, it'd be gone in a week.
Yeah, I could see that. Harvard University might be one of the most elite universities in the world, but it's going back to basics when it comes to teaching math. This is crazy. The Ivy League school is now teaching remedial math to incoming freshmen who they say lack the basic foundational skills when it comes to adding and subtracting. Harvard points to a number of factors: the pandemic, lackluster teaching and making DEI a priority over basic principles. The new course is called Math MA and meets 5 days a week for 1 entire year. We're talking about an Ivy League school that so many people want to get into. They've got, a multi-billion-dollar endowment, yet they're going back to teaching remedial math.
I think it's hilarious. First off, if the parents are going, all right, Junior, let's see your homework. 2 plus 2, 2 times 4.
I'm paying $100,000 a semester for this?
Right?
Okay.
Does anybody else have a button watch, though, that every once in a while you'd be like...
like for your watch?
Yeah, your watch. You'd be like, that's what it is.
Pretty much you could do that now.
Yeah.
Anything. Well, you can just ask her what's 4 times 4.
You just ask whatever your AI...
And I'm certain that's what has led to this as well. If you think about these issues of why we're doing this, but also I think, how you doing there, Matt? Doing all right?
I'm great. Yeah. Oh, hi. Everybody got a long look at me.
They did.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't mind looking at you.
How you doing?
How's your math?
Our female audience is requesting.
That's why I married an attorney. You can fix it for me. Well, the month of April recognizes Parkinson's Awareness and World Parkinson's Day. Joining us today are Dr. Kathleen Blake, who is living with the disease, and John Lear, President and CEO of the Parkinson's Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
Morning. So, Kathy, how can someone manage the symptoms?
So the most important thing, once you know you have Parkinson's disease, is to set up a program, ideally of exercise, because exercise is the one strategy that will actually help slow the progression of the disease. That's what you need to do while we're waiting to develop a cure. Exercise should be what you enjoy doing. So it might be a stationary bicycle. It could be that you go to the gym, rock steady boxing. There are a whole variety of things, but it's the exercise that you like, and then maybe the addition of medication that will help you feel better.
So, John, what kind of resources are available?
Yeah, there are a lot of resources, and we pride ourselves at the Parkinson's Foundation of being the trusted and go-to source. So we have all sorts of online, print materials. We do webinars and podcasts. But I would suggest that people start by going to our website, which is parkinson.org. That's parkinson.org. Or if you want to talk to somebody live, we have a helpline, which is 1-800-4PD-INFO, and we have trained specialists in Parkinson's who can answer any questions that you might have about the disease, how to live well with the disease, and where to access local resources.
And John, again, where can we go for more info?
Yeah, so it's parkinson.org, or call our helpline, 1-800-4PD-INFO.
Thanks, and we'll make sure we have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to tackle some essential home maintenance tasks. Joining us now with some expert tips is the co-founder of Angie, Angie Higgs. Hi, Angie.
Spring is here, so it's time to take care of your spring checklist to make sure your house is in tip-top shape. The first thing you should do is have your air conditioner tuned up. Your furnace and air conditioner tend to be the largest use of energy in your home, so taking good care of them throughout the year is going to help you lower your utility bills. Then you want to go outside and walk around your house, inspecting your roof. Look for loose or missing shingles and have those fixed before spring storm season comes in. And if you haven't had your gutters cleaned recently, go ahead and have those cleaned because you want to make sure water is flowing freely away from your home. You also want to just check your foundation while you're out and check to make sure there aren't any cracks. If you see any, hire a pro because caught early, it can save you quite a bit. And these tips will help keep your house in good condition throughout the year. For more information, you can go to Angie.com, ANGI.com, for the full spring checklist.
Trending right now, forget boots, it's all about the fur. The bottle jeans. After years of fur being the target of activism, it's now becoming the hot new fashion item once again. Consumers are flocking to secondhand stores in search of vintage furs and posting their fur finds online. The rise of real fur is prompting industry experts to predict its return after decades of anti-fur activism. Wearing real fur has been a bit of a controversy for years. Some bars in Manhattan even banned customers from wearing real fur inside of their establishments.
I guess this girl is opening up a box. We just saw her talking or whatever. She said,
unboxing a fur coat.
How are you? Here's the thing. Nowadays, it's so they can make artificial fur or whatever it's called. It looks so real. I don't get it. I mean, there is something. It's so expensive as well. And then if it turns back into, I think, a big market, then people are going to kill animals just for their fur, and I don't like that.
I don't like that either. However, it sort of got to a point of ridiculousness where people were getting attacked with giant cans of red paint, and let's say that's a vintage fur coat. So you're defeating the purpose because that person was trying to do something right.
Absolutely.
Hey, spring is here and summer is coming, so it's time to plan a fun vacation, right? Well, here to help is PBS travel host Darley Newman, who's teaming up with Visit Myrtle Beach to share some tips for taking an affordable trip this year. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Well, I love Myrtle Beach, but what are some important factors to consider when you're planning a vacation this year?
You know, budget and location are so important. That's why Myrtle Beach is a great pick. It's super accessible. More than half of the U.S. population is within a day's drive of Myrtle Beach, and there are more than 50 direct flights going to that Myrtle Beach International Airport every day. Also great lodging options. You can go budget friendly or more luxury. And if you really want to stretch that dollar, there are lots of free things to do here. Myrtle Beach Art Museum offers free admission and lots of outdoor concerts during the summer as well.
Hey, can you give us a secret for planning a fun family vacation? Because those can be hard to put together.
It can be tricky, Matt. You really want to have something for everybody to love in your group. And here, there are not only beautiful beaches, but places to fuel your imagination Ripley's Aquarium and Wonderworks. There is a mini golf trail and also wonderful world-class golf courses for the whole family. And during the summer, a good tip for parents, a lot of kids will play free at those golf courses. So lots for everyone to love.
What's some of your favorite stuff to do at the beach?
So I'm a big foodie. I grew up here at the beach and I love to eat. I will tell you to get down to that sea captain's house. You can eat right on the beach, have great seafood by the water. Cape Fear Seafood Company is another top pick. I love to get outdoors, so Myrtle's Inlet Marsh Walk is also nice. But if you want those tools, go to visitmyrtlebeach.com and you can check out lots of great resources for planning.
Thanks for all that great info. We'll make sure we have it on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Hey, Earth Day is April 22nd, and Emmy Award-winning tech columnist Jennifer Jolly is joining us, and she's shining a spotlight on some of the coolest gadgets that can save money and the planet.
Thanks so much for having me. HP's newest all-in plan, it's a great place to start. The way it works is really simple. You pay one monthly fee starting as low as about $7, and you get a brand new printer made largely from recycled materials, plus inkjet refills automatically show up on your doorstep whenever you run low. They also give you a prepaid envelope to send back used ink cartridges to upcycle as well. And after 2 years, you can even get a new printer through the plan, and HP just recycles your older one. This Wybot S2 solar robotic pool cleaner saves time, money, and is so much better for the environment than traditional energy hog cleaners. It has its own solar charging dock, so when the battery runs low, it automatically drives itself for a refill at that underwater docking station. It also just cleans better. With dual filtration, it gets everything, including the really fine debris. In some environmental comparisons, experts told us making this one switch alone nationwide could slash emissions equal to taking 2 million cars off the road. It's also $300 off right now. These Era Green digital smart lawn sprinklers are absolutely amazing. I have these in my own backyard. They are AI sprinklers that basically print water only to areas of your lawn that really need it. That means no more watering cement or the side of your house. They can cut back on the average outdoor water use by about 50%, which means they can slash your water bill too. It digitally maps out your lawn through an app on your smartphone that you can adjust at any time. So it just is more strategic with its precision and watering only where and when it needs it the most. It also uses live weather data, so it doesn't turn on when it's raining or the ground's already saturated, but can boost up more water in those drier months. From today until Earth Day, you can use code JOLLYEARTH on Airgreen's website to save 10%. Here's one more statistic that totally blows me away. People create 500 pounds of plastic per person per year. Take a look at what that looks like. Take a look at the image on your screen. That's how much plastic you create, I create. Every single one of us is responsible for that much. So as we're learning, baby steps, little changes can add up to huge impacts for the environment. So check out True Earth's detergent sheets. These replace traditional jugs, a huge culprit in plastic waste, with these ultra concentrated pre-measured strips that dissolve in water. No mess, zero plastic waste. Their full laundry lineup includes scent boosters and fabric softeners. They're free from dyes, parabens, phosphates, all those harsh chemicals, and come with an overall lighter environmental footprint. So far, True Earth told us their products have helped keep some 190 million plastic jugs out of oceans and landfills, and you can find them everywhere from your local grocery store to Amazon. You can find more details, links of where to buy, and lots more exciting news at my website at techish.com. Back to you.
Hey now, welcome to Preview Review for the Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and I give you a little sneak peek. Was I don't know what I'm doing there. But hey, I do know the theaters are going to be packed this summer, and one of the first films that's going to be hitting the theaters has a ragtag crew getting together to try to save the world as usual. It's Marvel's Thunderbolts.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be? I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Stop! Please, John, stop! Where were you?
I have Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape the past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
This has makings of team that can raise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. With a little giddy toy.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
We'll find out more on May 2nd, and it's hitting the theaters, and it's going to be PG-13. I'm stoked for it. Hopefully, this is the new revitalization that we need for all the Marvel films. Let me know what you think. Shoot me a note, matt@dailyflashshow.com.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. It's time for us to take a look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous and dive into some celebrity real estate.
Okay, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been outed as the buyer of a $23 million residence in Washington, D.C. The sale ranks as the third most expensive in the city's history. The 15,000 square foot brick mansion includes 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms with 2 kitchens and 3 fireplaces.
Wow.
Outdoor amenities include a basketball court and a pool with enhanced fencing and security. Zuckerberg's move coincides with a wave of high-profile tech figures establishing a presence in the nation's capital.
If you remember, at one time, I think he didn't have a home, and he just he rented like a normal house, and then he met this girl, and now he's got obviously a big family, and or not big family, big house, and now he can buy it pretty much anywhere he wants.
Anywhere he wants, whatever he wants, he can
do it.
tear it down and rebuild it again, and it wouldn't hurt him one bit.
Wouldn't feel it.
No.
The Los Angeles estate of the late legendary actress Raquel Welch sold $3 million. It is a 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom Mediterranean-style home. It's located in Bel Air, Fresh Prince not included. Welch originally purchased it for $2.5 million. The California home, just under 5,100 square feet, opens up to a large entry with columns. It leads to a living room with a fireplace, French doors. Also, family room that opens up into a terrace and a pool.
Ooh, nice.
The kitchen and the home office located on the main floor. Welch started her career as a weather forecaster in San Diego, much as Andrea did.
Yeah.
She later made a name for herself on the big screen with movies like 1 Million Years BC, and sadly, she passed away in 2023 at the age of 82.
She also had a terrific business afterward, doing the makeup and hair products, and a whole line of that, which became wildly successful.
I did not know that, and good for her. And she's, just a gorgeous woman. I loved her on Seinfeld, where she played herself.
Yes, she was terrific.
She didn't move her hands and stuff. It was awesome.
She was super.
Good stuff,
Supermodel Linda Evangelista selling her New York Chelsea penthouse. It's on the market for around $8 million. The massive penthouse includes a rooftop terrace with stunning views of the city. Her 4-bedroom, 2-bath loft is part of a full-service building. Features 4,000 square feet of living space. Includes details like brick walls, polished concrete floors. There are high ceilings throughout. Even features a fireplace. There's a corner master bedroom suite, spa-like bath, large dressing room. You name it. Custom closets. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Beautiful homes, beautiful people watch our show, and you are one of them, so we want to say thank you.
Yes.
We'll be back tomorrow, right?
Yes, we will.
Why not?
I like it.